Good evening. A student and care leaver from Loughborough has welcomed a new tool which she hopes will challenge the so-called postcode lottery of support currently in place for youngsters when they leave a foster or residential home. Casey Armstrong told ITV Central that she was unclear about what help she was entitled to when she turned 18.
Well, the work's been done by a man from Nottingham who was moved around more than 100 times while in care. He wants everybody to have the same access to help wherever they happen to live. Lucy Capassi reports.
Like trying to get at least a good draft done by...
Space engineering student Casey Armstrong catches up with her business mentor after a recent trip to the university where she hopes to study astrophysics next year.
I went on Saturday. I'm so excited.
Life, says Casey, is currently good, but to get where she is today has been a challenge, particularly when she first left care.
I felt like I was really under the understanding that I was turning 18 and that was it. You're 18 now, you've got to sustain yourself and that's it, full stop. But in reality, there are things that are available, such as when I was homeless, I was able to get that first month's rent and deposit, but you don't get those things unless you ask. So there are so many things that I really needed that support for, that parents may generally support for, that I didn't get, all because I didn't ask, but I wasn't told to ask, if that makes sense. So
over time, she did find out some of the things she was entitled to, but it became apparent that the amount of help care leavers can get varies depending on where you live.
Between the ages of 18 and 19, there were 3 instances where I'd lost a job, I was really struggling for money, I had nothing to get me by, I was sort of waiting for that benefit money to come in for job seekers until I got a new job, and I went to my council to ask for help because I didn't know where else to go. I had no other options. There was no food in my fridge, I couldn't afford my electric bill, and on each instance I really struggled to get about £10. The third time that I asked for help, I was told by my support worker at the time that that's the last time I could ask for help. Then I have a friend who lives under Leicester City, and he regularly gets payments from his support worker because he struggles to get by on his benefits alone, and that's something that there's no quarrel. They know that he struggles, so they help him, they give that money out. So the differences really are quite huge, especially when it's just neighbouring councils.
Across Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire and Leicestershire, there are currently around 4,700 care leavers between 16 and 24. They're all exempt from paying council tax as long as they still live in the area where they originally went into care. But other support varies by council. 67% of them will get help paying for cooking equipment. 50% will get help with decorating their first home, and just 35% get help with broadband. Terry Galloway is also care experienced, and having gone through the system, he believes he knows what to do to fix it. Alongside his work as director of a letting agency and housing association, he's created a website detailing what every local authority pledges to do for care leavers, and crucially, how they all compare.
Well, the website's the first comparison tool in the UK that compares what local authorities do for their care leavers. So it really does hold them to account, but it also provides resources so that they can improve their offers. And what we really want to see is that all our care leavers, no matter where they live and which council they come from, get the same help.
For the last 2 years, Casey says she's had fantastic support from the charity Leicestershire Cares, who she found out about through a friend. Tonight it's a social evening. They're making mug cakes. She says she's excited by Terry's new resource.
I'm really hoping that this might start to put pressure on local authorities and the government to break down this postcode lottery, because now it's out there for the whole country to see.
Terry's work has won widespread support, including from the head of the Children's Social Care Review currently underway. But Terry says he won't be happy until youngsters like Casey are given the same care and support wherever they happen to live. Lucy Capassi, ITV News.
Well, in response, Deborah Taylor, who's the lead member for children and families at Leicestershire County Council, told us, "We know that leaving care involves a lot of changes, and we're committed to doing all we can to support our young people through what can be a challenging time. From the ages of 16 to 21, young people have a variety of support, including a personal advisor who will ensure they're supported to live independently as they leave care. She goes on to say, we'd always encourage anyone with any difficulties accessing support to speak to us, and we will take action to investigate and improve services if needed.
Now some other news from the region.